Hey everybody, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I am continuing my series called Singers Then and Now. Next up, Mr. Luciano Pavarotti. Check it out. This is Then. Now I want to point something out. That was a tenor high C, right? Okay. And we know over the course of time, he pulled, Nessun Dorma down to the B. We're going to hear that, I think, in a minute. But he maintained the tenor C and above for a really long time, 50 some odd years, maybe, 50, 52 years, 55, 3 years, whatever. So, and he hit that effortlessly. The only person I think I've heard hit that maybe a little less, pulling a little less chest, a little less weight, from the, definitely chest, but less weight from the bottom, is UC Borling. I mean, he's one of the only other guys that I've heard him sing that note a little more effortlessly, even though Pavi was maybe one of the greatest tenors that's ever lived, next to Caruso and etc. Placido Domingo is also way up there. But let's continue. Here we go. So this is Now. Okay, so that was the B on Vincero. So, right? And that's pretty notorious. I mean, everybody's singing Nessun Dorma. That was sort of the high note for the song. But it's a half step below the C that we heard before that. He still hit it amazingly well, like a roaring lion. It's huge. He's pulling a lot of weight up top, but this is also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, about when he started to get sick. You guys know he died of cancer. And so to be able to do that and sing an aria, and be ill is pretty amazing, actually. But let's continue. So this is Then. Here we go. I can't imagine, when you sing that C, it's I stuck it. You just have that feeling of like, okay. And most of the time too, those were the high notes of a whole aria or whatever. They wouldn't necessarily be sung a lot throughout a night. You just get little, pinnacles of those or peaks of those throughout a performance. So anyway, so that was Then. This is Now. Okay. Now, in fairness, again, he was getting sicker, and I think that was right towards the end. But it's all the way down a full step. So there's no longer Vincero here, the B. It's actually B flat or A sharp, B flat to the F, G sharp, and so that's another half step down. So he did move it down a half step. It is what it is, man, but again, like he said, he was doing that for 50 some odd years and he got sick towards the end. So I don't know. It's kind of like Freddie Mercury, though. I mean, it was weird because the Innuendo album, I think, is one of Freddie Mercury's greatest albums, Queen's greatest records from a vocal performance standpoint. And Freddie crushed it, even though he was really sick of AIDS. Probably didn't die of AIDS, but anyway, so let's continue. This is Then. Here we go. Cool. If you noticed the way he hung that note, that's the B in Nessun Dorma that we heard when he was not in best of health on the other ones. Do you hear how much lower in his throat it sounds, and it doesn't sound as forced and as high and as thick in the throat? So in his younger years, he had, again, a more agile, vocal ability until later in life as he got older and took ill, that he struggled a bit. But still, phenomenal performances. I mean, we're talking at the very, very top of the world of operatic performances. So, and in bel canto, it's kind of sad because they're very unforgiving. I mean, if you just if you're off that much, even a flat or sharp anywhere, they're crucified by the media. So, I mean, for a lot of years, he's had some pretty flawless vocal performances, all right? Anyway, this is Now. One of the things I think about those particular notes, I call them reverb notes. That's the C again, right? That's the tenor high C. It's why it's called the tenor high C. If you go back and listen to this, you're going to notice that it doesn't sound that high. It sounds like a high note, but it doesn't sound like the zenith or the top of his range, the threshold of his range. And that's the way it's supposed to sound. And so you kind of wonder, gosh, because I've heard him sport Ds and I think an E flat somewhere, I forget where that was, but he's also, could sing a full step above that. Now, a lot of other singers sing higher than that in the rock world, especially, of course, there's Dimash, but we call him Dismash. He's from another planet, so we can't really include him in this. I don't think. We can actually, but because he actually has a very bel canto appoggio background. But I will say that, there are a lot of rock singers that just scream it out. I mean, Robert Plant singing E's, E5s, way above these notes. You've got Steve Perry way above these notes. Biggie Thomas way above these notes. Millie Maticevic way above these notes. A lot of the 80s metal guys way above these notes. So, but they don't have the same girth, robustness, round, tubular, huge bell sound, giant sound, as Pavi did, and again as Lanza did, and Caruso, and Placido Domingo, and a lot of these other amazing tenors. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying, kind of checking this out. There are others coming our way that we're going to see, that they didn't necessarily take care of their voices. So if you were to look at, the difference between, he didn't get one note towards the end of his life while he had cancer, I don't think it's a fair evaluation. I think the guy is just try to beat that, right? 50 years of doing that, 60 years of doing that. Pretty amazing if you ask me. But anyway, definitely stick around and check out my next video.